Hi, my name's Adam. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for joining us today. Today we're going to talk about when to take your CPP, your Canadian Pension Plan. Very common question, probably the number one question we get from people, 58, 59, getting to that 60 age mark where you can start to take your CPP. Does it make sense for you, and when should you take it? We're going to cover that off in today's video and subsequent videos over this week on different age brackets, when to take it, and strategies and examples around when to do so. So when can you start taking CPP? So you can take it anywhere between age 60 and age 70. You can take it past 70, but there's no benefit to do so. So make sure you take it sometime between your 60th birthday and your 70th birthday. Now, obviously that's a big window. That's a 10-year period. So what makes the most sense for you? Well, remember that you are not your neighbor. So if your neighbor took it at 60 or at 70 or somewhere in between, that doesn't mean that that's the right fit for you. Even a coworker that's maybe in a similar situation as you, everyone's situation is different. So that's why it's so important to understand why you should be taking it at certain ages depending on your certain situation. So again, 10-year time frame, that's a big number. So as long as you made at least one payment to CPP in your lifetime, past age 18 in Canada, you are qualified or eligible to receive CPP payments. So you can actually apply for CPP benefit the month after you turn 59. So if you're going to start CPP at 60, you can apply as early as 59 and 1 month. So that's the earliest you can apply for CPP. You can also apply for your CPP up to 1 year before you're actually going to take it. So if you know that you want to start it on your 67th birthday, you could apply for it up to a year in advance. So, you can set the date that you want it, but you can apply up to a year in advance of CPP commencement. So just keep that in mind as well. You don't have to apply, a month before, 2 months before. It can be up to a year before, and you can just state the date that you'd like it to start. Now, the last thing that I just want to kind of point in on that a lot of people get confused of. CPP and OAS are two totally separate benefits. CPP you can take anywhere from 60 to 70. OAS is from 65 to 70. So we're not going to cover OAS in this video, but you don't have to, if you're applying for CPP at 65, you don't have to apply for OAS or vice versa. They are separate benefits. They do not have to be applied for and taken at the same time. So when looking at CPP, how much can you actually get? So the maximum amount that you can get in 2021 is $1,203. So that's a maximum CPP. That said, the average CPP is $689. So almost half of the maximum. So again, there's a difference between the maximum amount that you're allowed and the average that people get paid. So we'll put the link below to your My Service Canada account. If you're not signed up for My Service Canada, sign up. That's where you can go to get an estimated amount for what your CPP will be. So if you're curious, like, okay, I'm at 689 or I'm at 1203 or somewhere in between, My Service Canada is where you need to start to get the information around how much CPP benefit you'll be paid at certain age brackets. So going back to CPP amounts and when you can take it. So again, let's say at age 65, you get $1,000. So that's what you're gonna get if you take it exactly on your 65th birthday, $1,000 a month payment. If you take it before age 65, the amount that you receive will be reduced by 0.6% for every month that you take it early. Meaning that if you take it at age 60, the amount will be reduced by 36%. So 0.6% times the 5 years. So you're gonna actually, instead of receiving $1,000 a month, you're going to get $640 each month. Now, for each month that you delay past 65, there's a 0.7% increase to your CPP payment. So there's a benefit to wait past 65 to take it. So from 65 to 70, every month that you wait is 0.7%. So if you took it on your 70th birthday, it would increase by 42%. So your monthly payment, instead of $1,000, would be $1,420. So a pretty big bump if you wait till age 70. Now remember that when you apply for CPP, you actually have to apply. So it's not automatic at 60 or 65 or 70. It's a process that you have to go through to apply for. Again, we'll put the link below on where to apply, how to apply, and all that. But CPP, just like OAS, is something that you actually have to apply for. Most of the time, most of our clients do receive a package from the government that talks about it, that kind of gets their interest piqued, but you have to apply for CPP. It is not an automatic payment at a set age. And remember that CPP is taxable income. So again, this really comes into effect when looking at other income sources you have, other assets you have, and how you're gonna kind of manage and massage your income flow from retirement till death. So again, that's where when you should take your CPP at 65 or 60 or 70 really comes in, because it's taxable income and we could drive up our marginal tax rate, OAS clawback. There's a lot of stuff involved. So just be aware that CPP payments are added to your income and you're taxed on any amount that you collect. So I want to go through 5 things to consider before you apply for your CPP. These things are really going to affect on when you should be taking, if it's 60, 65, 70, or somewhere in between. Again, we really recommend you talk to your tax professional or financial planner and build a plan around when you should take your CPP. We've saved some of our clients tens of thousands of dollars, each client tens of thousands of dollars, by strategically taking their CPP at a different time than when they thought would be best for them. So again, financial planning software can really break down the numbers and show you exactly when you should be paying it or be taking it. So make sure that you do some work with a financial planner, figure out when exactly you should be taking it based on your unique situation. Again, you're not your neighbor, you're yourself. So make sure you take it when it makes sense for you. So the first thing to consider is, do you have a pension plan? So pension plan will drastically affect when you should be taking your CPP payment. The second thing is how much RRSP and other registered investment accounts you have. How big are the accounts? What's the strategy to decumulate those accounts, to draw down those accounts, okay? Again, just a little tip, and we'll cover this in a future video, but a lot of our clients will actually deregister some RSPs, from 60 to 65 or maybe up to 70, and then start CPP later. So it's a kind of a tax strategy that seems to work well if you have larger or even some RSP accounts that you want to draw down first. So there's some strategy around that. So if you have RSPs or other registered, maybe a LIRA from an old pension plan, consider those numbers before you start to take your CPP. The third thing to consider is, are you married or single? That comes into play big time on when you should take your CPP. The fourth thing is your personal or family health. So if you have family health history where everyone's passed away in their early 70s, that should come into play. That doesn't tell you when you're going to pass away, but it needs to come into play in the planning process of when to take your CPP. If everyone in your family has died early, maybe you want to take CPP early just to get some benefit out of it. Again, if everyone lives really late, maybe that comes into it as well. And the fifth key consideration when looking to take your CPP is, are you still working? Okay, we've had people come to us that are 60, 61, 62. They're working full time, making over $100,000 a year, and they started taking their CPP. What's happened is that CPP, again, remember, it's taxable income. It's added onto their employment income, and they're paying 50% tax on that CPP benefit. So they're losing half their benefit on top of the 36% they lost from taking it early. So if you're still working, it probably doesn't make sense to take CPP. Again, everyone's situation is different, but that's something to consider when looking at if you should take your CPP. Thanks so much for joining us today on this first video of when to take your CPP. The next video is going to cover off the break-even point. So if I take it at 60 versus 65, yes, I'm collecting more money for 5 years, but I'm collecting a lower amount forever. So when's that break-even point? So we're going to cover off those numbers in tomorrow's video. The day after that, we're going to talk about taking your CPP at 60 and when you should do that and the benefits. And we're going to use a real-life example of a client that we used and helped through taking CPP at 60. The day after that, we're going to talk about when to take it at 65 and then at 70. So again, 4 more videos to come that will really help you kind of gear in on CPP, when to take it, how it works, and what, you can kind of slot yourself maybe into one of these scenarios that'll help you make the best decision for you that could put tens of thousands of dollars back into your pocket. So thanks again for joining us today. If you're not subscribed to our channel, make sure to subscribe. Again, this week we're doing the CPP kind of mini-series. We're also going through a personal finance mini-series, and every Friday we post a tax savings, financial planning, retirement planning, a video that will really help you build more wealth, plan better, save better, and retire better. So join our community, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and if you enjoy these videos, make sure to the thumbs up. It really does help get our videos out to more people, and we really do appreciate it. Thanks so much. Have a good day.